Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 1st agenda meeting of Mayor and Council. This meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting being provided to the borough's two official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Amy, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, Councilman Benjavanga.
Here.
Councilman Dean.
Here.
Councilwoman Costini.
Here.
And Councilman Besh is away on vacation this evening. Councilman Bullock.
Here.
Council President White.
Here. Thank you. Will you take us through a review of tonight's agenda?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this evening there are no matters on for executive session. We have the approval of council minutes from April 17th. There are two proclamations on this evening. One is for Buddha's Light International Month. The other one is for South Plainfield Wrestling Day. We have two ordinances on for a second reading by title. One is a bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements. The other is an ordinance replacing chapter 434 entitled Towing. We have one ordinance on for a first reading by title, which is a pool capital ordinance. We have two budget resolutions. One is a public hearing for the 2017 municipal budget. Then we have the amendment of the 2017 municipal budget. There are 11 resolutions on this evening, 3 matters of correspondence, payment of bills totaling $290,085.02, council reports, and we conclude with public comments. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Council comments on agenda items.
Yes, Mayor. Could we separate 17-192?
Okay. Any other comments, questions, concerns on agenda items?
Mayor,
Yes.
on the payment of bills, I want to reduce the very first row, current fund 701, by exactly $300 even.
Is that all you can do? Making sure people are paying. All right, so the total is not the same then, correct?
Correct. The total will be changed.
And what is the new total?
236,000.
No, that one again.
You mean the bottom?
Yeah. 290, 289.
289, 78502.
Any other comments, questions, concerns? No? At this point, we'll open it up for public comments on agenda items only. Seeing none, we will adjourn I ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's agenda meeting.
So moved, Mayor.
We are adjourned. Seeing no reason to delay, we'll go right to the public meeting again. This meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting also being provided to the borough's two official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Amy, will you call the roll once more?
Councilman Benjavanga.
Here.
Councilman Dean.
Here.
Councilwoman Costini.
Here.
Councilman Bullock.
Here.
Council President White.
Here.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation by Councilman Bullock. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, bless this governing body, give it guidance to be fair and just. We pray that you impart wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Amen.
Okay. Once again, as for public comments on agenda items only. None? Close the public portion. Can I get a motion to approve the council minutes of April 17th, 2017 agenda, public and executive?
So moved.
Second. Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Bullock. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga.
Recuse, I was absent.
Councilman Dean.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costini.
Yes.
Councilman Bullock.
Yes.
And Council President White.
Yes.
Passes 4-0.
Thank you. We have a couple of proclamations on for tonight. First is Buddhist Light International Association Month, and whereas May is Buddhist Light International Association Month, a special time to recognize and thank an organization whose mission is to apply the tenets of humanistic Buddhism as advocated by the Venerable Yun to benefit society through promoting educational and cultural enrichment activities, providing medical services and emergency relief, and supporting environmental sustainability. And whereas we'd like to commend those who help us here in South Plainfield by giving their time to help our neighbors, and thank those who assist us by donating to the food pantry. And also, whereas in the borough of South Plainfield, with BLIA's donation of the book 365 Days for Travelers, our community has the opportunity to appreciate the beauty of Chinese language, culture, and essence of humanistic Buddhism. And whereas we'd like to praise those who support a clean and sustainable environment by joining the borough's efforts in the neighborhood litter pickup events. And whereas in 2017, BLIA has provided the residents of South Plainfield with a grand Chinese New Year celebration that featured music, dance, handicraft, and painting demonstrations, and also performances. And whereas BLIA has coordinated 2 exhibitions of Chinese paper cutting and brush painting at the South Plainfield Library that gave residents a unique opportunity to appreciate traditional Chinese art. Now, therefore, I, Matthew Ganesh, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, on behalf of the entire Borough Council, do hereby proclaim May 2017 as Buddha's Light International Association Month, and extend our highest commendation to the Buddha's Light International Association for its dedication to the well-being of the people, and further deem it an honor and privilege to extend sincere congratulations and best wishes upon you. If I could just ask all those from BLIA to join me up front in acceptance of the proclamation.
Sorry, block you.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, you guys do.
Wait, I think you need to go.
You guys want to go this way?
Okay.
We'll come around.
Okay.
Andy, you want to go over? Okay, you go in that way? All right.
That's what I did. I'm sorry. She's okay, sorry.
Okay, to do it.
Okay, all right, okay.
I don't think like that.
I think, yeah. I'll get you.
Just think the wrestling team's going to be a lot more
I
challenging.
know.
You guys, you have the opportunity, you want to address the folks here at tonight's meeting? Andy, you want to say okay?
First of all, I would like to say thank you to the South Springfield Borough City Government to give us these great opportunities. This is an honor to be part of this community, as well as to be, have a chance to contribute to the community services. Going forward, this is a promise, so we will do more, we will do better. We will help, we will assist the city to become a much bigger and much wide range event to help the city to build a much better community. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good job, Andy.
Okay, congratulations, guys. You have been great neighbors as you move to South Plainfield. We just want to congratulate you for that. You really have been excellent partners and neighbors to the entire community. So thank you for everything that you do. All right. So this was a dress rehearsal for the wrestling team. So we're going to try and get this without a, let's talk without hitch. So correct me where I go wrong, but you guys are the GMC Red Division champions, GMC Conference champions, District champions, Central Jersey, Group 3 champions, and Group 3 state champions. Did we miss anything? Number one in the state. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to call the students first, then we're going to call the manager, and then also the coaches. And we're going to ask the coaches how you guys manage to do this so frequently. So be prepared. Seems like year after year after. Not that we're complaining. This is very good. But you make a tall order for all the other sports and all the other activities and organizations in town. See what you have to keep up with, Andy? This isn't just this year. These guys are competing year in, year out. I know it starts really. What do we start these guys at? 4 years, 5 years old, 4 years, 5 years old. Some of you guys probably started, maybe a little older. It starts at an early age in the PAL, and by the time they get to the high school, they've perfected this like nobody else has. So congratulations on the great work that you've done. Council President, why don't you, actually let me read the proclamation first. We're going to read the proclamation. They are personalized with your names on there, but we'll just read the one in general. And then I'll read your names and ask you to come up. You get the proclamation from Council President White, and then what we will do is attempt to get all of you in a photo up here. No pressure, we've done it with the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts, and we've executed it flawlessly. One last test for this school year for you guys. Okay. South Plainfield Wrestling Day. Whereas wrestling, mankind's oldest and most basic form of recreational combat, traces its origins back to the dawn of civilization through carvings and drawings estimated to be between 15,000 and 20,000 years old, found in caves in southern Europe. And whereas wrestling was the most popular event in ancient Greek games, and lists of Olympic wrestling winners have been recorded since 708 BC, and whereas modern wrestling is a highly instinctive sport that requires strength, alertness, resiliency, and above all, agility and quickness. And whereas South Plainfield High School wrestling students, coaches, and managers have compiled an array of team accomplishments for the South Plainfield High School wrestling team, and whereas those individuals' achievements in wrestling have been numerous and commendable, with their commitment to the sport is reflected in their steady, persistent progress through much practice and competition. And whereas the Borough of South Plainfield and the County of Middlesex and the State of New Jersey is proud to have these individuals as part of the community, and they exemplify the values that make the community strong and proud. Now, therefore, I, Matthew Pienish, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do hereby give accolades to these wrestlers, managers, and coaches, and proudly proclaim May 1st, 2017 as South Plainfield High School Wrestling Day in the Borough of South Plainfield. Congratulations once again, guys. Okay. All right, so here we go, and I apologize if I miss any of your names. If you hear your first name and it sounds almost right, just start heading. Alexander Amato. That was a dry run.
Did you guys have the park?
Kyle Pitbull. So much for getting me. Zachary Del Vecchio. Thomas Fierro. Jake Giordano. Julio Gonzalez. Brennan Hedden. Joseph Heilman. Jake Hoffman. Benjamin Lundy. Michael Marrero. Ryan Marston. Jeremy Medina. Joseph Nardazzi. Luke Niemeyer. Jacob Payne. Joseph Sacco. Sebastian Santos. So just a little bit about these fine young gentlemen. Zachary Delvecchio, 220 pounds, individual GMC wrestling champion, individual GMC, congratulations. District champion, Region 4 champion, NJSIA individual state wrestling tournament, all red division, all conference. Thomas Fiera, 106 pounds, individual GMC Ordinance 2076.
Bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Borough of South Plainfield and the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $611,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $449,500 bonded notes of the borough to finance the part of the cost thereof.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final adoption on ordinance 2076?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Councilman Dean, seconded by Councilman Benjavenka. This is for final adoption. Open up for public comments on ordinance 2076. Seeing none, close public portion. Council comments on the adoption of ordinance 2076. Seeing none, Amy, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, Councilman Benjavenka?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Also for final adoption, ordinance 2078.
An ordinance replacing chapter 434 of the Borough Code of the Borough of South Plainfield entitled Towing.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final adoption on ordinance 2078?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Councilman Woola, seconded by Councilman Benjavenka. As this is also for final adoption, open up for public comments on ordinance 2078. Seeing none, public portion. Council comments on ordinance 2078.
Nothing, Mayor.
None. Amy, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavenka?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. For introduction, ordinance 2079.
Full capital ordinance authorizing the acquisition of 2 permanent shaded structures for the utility in the Borough of South Plainfield, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2079?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Dean, seconded by Council President White. Amy, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavenka?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Just for the public's knowledge, the public hearing for the adoption of ordinance 2079 is scheduled for May 15th, 2017 at approximately 7 p.m. And number 10, budget resolutions, resolution 17-190, authorizing the public hearing of the 2017 municipal budget. At this point, we'll open the floor. Do you want to give comments before we open the floor, Glenn?
Yeah, I'll just make a few comments, Mayor. I've been trying to keep everybody, I guess, abreast of the status of our budget. We introduced the municipal budget back on March 6th. At that time, we had set the public hearing, for today, 2 months later, and obviously a lot can happen in 2 months. The budget that had been introduced at that time was lower than the 2016 budget, both in appropriations as well as in taxes. Since its introduction back on March 6th, we've had budget hearings, we've received a number of new grants, we've had our largest snowstorm of the year, and a number of other items that have come up in the last 2 months. The budget that is on our website that everybody sees that we're having the public hearing for tonight is what was originally introduced, which was a municipal budget of $28,507,321 with its municipal taxes, including both the municipal budget and library, totaling $19,201,396. Since introduction, and that was essentially flat with a year ago. Since introduction, we've made 42 different line item adjustments, totaling $263,429. The net effect of all those adjustments, which I think is what most people kind of ask about, is the tax portion of the municipal budget has been reduced by another $35,000. Tonight, though, the borough cannot adopt the budget because, as I think I mentioned at a previous meeting, based on certain circumstances, if you put new line items in the budget that are more than 1%, or if any one line item changes by more than 10%, you're required to have another public hearing and then have an adoption on that budget. So we're gonna have to have another public hearing on the 15th. At that public hearing, we'd be able to adopt the budget, which includes all, 263 of these items that have been adjusted. I would make, because these numbers are changing somewhat from what was originally introduced, it's not substantial, but we'll do a presentation at that meeting. I already have a PowerPoint that's worked out that I'm just fine tuning now. But the amended budget is essentially $68,000 lower tax-wise from a year ago. And when you include our increasing ratables, it's just under $11 less per household from a year ago. The budget adequately funds all the departments and the operations, and most importantly, I know, for years there used to be debates in this room in regards to having items that were not recurring revenue, and I can freely say that there's nothing in this year's budget that we have to be concerned about not regenerating next year. So we don't have a land sale number in there. At times that number has been north of $500,000. I think we have some scrap in there for $3,000 or something. So and on a $28 million budget that's using the accounting term materiality, that's not a material number. I think it's a good budget. I think we've gotten a lot of cooperation from the department heads, and I guess that's a brief summary if you want.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just, good job all around, and I'm glad you've been at this for a number of years, the borough, and taken your private sector experience. I think you've just guided this governing body once again, and I know everybody's done well. And like you mentioned, the department heads have done well. This is nothing new. And I think what you said that I think is key is this responsibly funds all areas of the budget. There are no gimmicks here. There are no one-time items. Sometimes, it does make sense. You have a one-time item for various reasons. You're going to have that. There's no material one-time items. There's no gimmicks here. This is a solid budget, and it's something that we've been pointing out as we've seen the rating agencies over the years continuously mention this as they've either reaffirmed or upgraded the borough's rating. So this is something that I'm proud of. I think this is something that everybody should be proud of. Glenn, this is something that you should be proud of. I think this is something that the residents should be proud of. This is a solid budget. It's not nothing that's been out of the ordinary over the last several years. So congratulations. Any other council comments before we open it up for the public?
Nothing.
All right, at this point, we'll open it up for public comments. Seeing none, we will close the floor. And as Glenn had mentioned, we are slating the actual adoption of the 2017 municipal budget for May 15, 2017.
Correct. You have to introduce the amendment.
Introduce the amendment. All right, so 17-191, authorizing the amendment of the 2017 municipal budget. Can I get a motion to introduce the 2017 municipal budget amendment?
So, second, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Benjamin, seconded by Council President White. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. And as I mentioned, we will have a public hearing for the 2017 municipal budget amendment for May 15, 2017. Moving on to resolutions. Can I get a motion for resolution 17-192?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Dean, seconded by Councilwoman Faustini. Amy, can you call the roll on 17-192?
Yes, Councilman Benjamin?
Recuse as Pinto Brothers is a direct competitor of my employer.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
I also recuse as Pinto Brothers is a direct competitor of my employer.
Passes 3-0.
Thank you. Can I also get a motion for resolution 17-193 to 17-202?
So moved, Mayor.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Faustini. Amy, can you call the roll?
Yes, Councilman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. We have 3 items of correspondence. Zoning Board minutes for March 21st, 2017, April 4th, 2017. Planning Board minutes of February 28th, and a thank you letter from Unico. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Dean. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Can I get a motion on payment of the bills of $289,785.02?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Wolock. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Mr. Rizzo.
Mayor, I just want to remind you all that about 3 weeks ago, I sent you a memo about Verizon and their interest in upgrading your system. We haven't really discussed it. I know Verizon's looking for an answer. I don't know if anybody's given any thought. We had recommended a master license arrangement, which would give us some flexibility. I don't know if you want to discuss it at the next meeting, if you all need to review it, but I didn't want to lose track of it because it's going on 3 weeks.
I'm put a motion forward that we discuss at the next meeting after some further review.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any
With
other?
that, I have nothing else.
Thank you. Administrator, CFO, Cullen.
Well, Mayor, I actually have a few things. That's why I have a whole pile of stuff here. I'm wondering what I'm doing here. For starters, Mr. Miller, the engineer, and I last week had a meeting over in Middlesex County regarding the traffic light at Woodland Avenue. So that is Woodland and Oak Tree Road. So that is moving forward. All of the hurdles have been crossed. Middlesex County is going, we were told, it's going to go out to bid on May 31st. They're hoping to award a contract sometime in June. And if all that works well, they're hoping to begin the project sometime in July or August. The project is currently estimated to last 4 months. And part of the reason is there's a few things on more than just the traffic light. They're actually going to upgrade, which really is going to be a complete change on the traffic light on Oak Tree and Park Avenue, as well as the traffic light at Oak Park Commons, going into both malls. So both of those lights are going to be upgraded. They're going to put new sidewalks from the light at Park Avenue all the way to the new light, and I think even beyond, the light at Woodland Avenue and Oak Tree Road. Oak Tree Road will not be closed at all. It's not scheduled to be closed during the work. But Woodland Avenue is going to be closed at that intersection for about 2 weeks. And what they described to us is, you know, if you take Woodland Avenue coming to the intersection, the stop sign at Oak Tree Road, it's kind of a hill. They're actually going to go in and lower the road, I guess is what you would say. So they're going to lower the road. They're expecting that part of the job to last about 2 weeks. So, but everything's in place. All the easements have been acquired and everything else. So, work on that should start this summer.
Good.
I left everyone a copy of, we had a note sale last week. The borough sold $6,135,000 worth of short-term notes. The winning, I guess, purchaser was TD Bank at an interest rate of 1.14%. We received, I got the hard copy today. I got an email late last week on the quiet zones, and I'll have that in correspondence, and I'll have a chance to sift through a letter from Middlesex County, both myself and the engineer for the next meeting. Tonight we approved some lights. I guess everybody sees that there was lighting on that, and I know if anybody wants a copy, this is Mr. Miller's here work of what we're looking to do. We're looking to replace those very popular sci-fi lights that are outside the municipal building that haven't worked probably in like a decade. We're going to be replacing them with new decorative lights. Some are going to be for the library side, some are going to be in the municipal side, some are going to be in the parking lot as well as the entrance here. And there's 7 in total, and we're hopeful that that work will happen fairly soon as well. I know we've had a few comments regarding, particularly when we change the clocks, that it gets awfully dark there, so.
Yeah, so I know Len had sent, I believe he sent everything to all the council members, right?
No, I don't know if everybody on council got it. I
No.
think,
Oh.
whoever, I think it
Several
was
council
about
members.
3 people.
Okay.
I think it was Gary,
Yeah, I think it was Gary.
I think it was
Joe.
Gary, you and maybe Derek.
Okay, irrelevant, but if we could get a copy of that to
Yeah,
Ann,
I
maybe
have
just,
copied that for Derek.
okay, maybe, but I mean, maybe we can just put this on the borough website as well.
And last but not least, Mayor, which you're aware, and I'm not really sure if anybody else on council is aware of this. I have a very interesting letter here that was circulated to us by
Yes.
the city of Plainfield. They approached us, and back in 1963, I think everyone's aware that on Woodland Avenue, there's an area of the road that actually touches 4 different municipalities: South Plainfield, Plainfield, Edison, and Scotch Plains. So back on May 27th in 1963, and you can circulate this to go down, apparently this is one of the few areas in the entire state, and certainly the only area in this section of central or northern New Jersey, that has 4 different jurisdictions, 4 different municipalities reaching out one point. It's kind of like the 4 corners that you have out in Arizona and Colorado. And if you look at it, there's a nice little picture, and they had a photo with all 4 mayors standing in a circle, marking the spot. Right now, Plainfield's engineers are trying to find that spot, but we're looking to recreate that exact photo, which appeared in whatever the name of that paper is, which no longer exists, on May 23rd at 12 p.m. And Matt and I were both on a conference call last week. What we're really looking to do is to actually put a manhole cover at that spot, which each of the 4 municipalities seal in this manhole, so that, for once and for all, it can be marked as a spot. There's a few other thoughts, but I think there's going to be a lot of different, there's going to be dignitaries from both Middlesex County, the Senate Assembly, Union County Senate Assembly, as well as obviously the governing bodies from all 4 municipalities being invited. So it should be fun.
Yeah.
And with that progress.
It's interesting, if we could get a copy of that as well, it's probably something worthwhile to get out to folks as well. All right, Mr. Miller.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just a couple of quick things. Just one more thing on Woodland Avenue and Oak Tree. We're going to be milling and paving the road at night, and Woodland is going to be closed for about 2 weeks, so we need to pass a resolution on those 2 items. So we'll put something together for the next meeting. We awarded 2 drainage projects tonight, which will take care of some issues we've had, which are icing issues mostly in the winter. This will resolve that problem. And the Belmont Ave project will get us ready to pave Belmont this year. The last thing is I'm also out getting prices for the fence at the pool, and that should be finalized, so we'll have something for next meeting with that progress.
Thank you, sir. And Mrs. Antonides.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just want to let you know that letters were sent out today regarding voting districts 2 and 8, informing them that their voting location has changed from the American Legion to the Senior Center. It's been thought to be in the best interest of the overall election process to make that change. And on another note, just a reminder that your annual financial disclosure statements are due May 30th. I only have about 1/3 in so far, so just keep that in the back of your mind. And
Will
that's all
do.
I have.
Thank you. Councilman Dean.
Yes, Mayor, real quick, Len, with the drainage repairs that we're doing, are we still looking at Orchard and Lennon as well? Because that's always been a major icing issue right there as well. I know we talked about it before.
Yes, we looked at that. The problem is that to put inlets out there without repaving those intersections, it's really going to be a problem, because those intersections are so bad that to have an inlet in one spot really won't be able to just fix the problem. We need to pave to get those intersections fixed. We did look at it in detail though, but it actually needs to be a bigger project.
One of the other reasons why also is because that portion of Orchard that comes through to Lennon, the water company's going to be doing some work there too, so we want to kind of coordinate it with that too. We just don't know when. It's sometime in the next year.
Good. And just want to thank the PBA and the police department today for putting together a great day of golfing and decent weather as well. It was a great time.
Despite almost getting hit by a ball, I think
Yeah,
that they think they raised a lot of money for a worthy.
Yes, no, it was a good day out there, so.
Thank you.
Just wish I played a little bit better.
Well,
Me too.
yeah, well.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Festini.
I just want to, echo your comments. Excellent job to Glenn Conley and to the department heads. Happy and proud that we have such a fantastic budget to present. And then going forward, Len already addressed pool improvements are moving along, getting ready for the pool to open. And I have a long report from Triolano, the director of the senior center. It's thriving over there, so I just thought I would share with you her news. The senior center membership has increased again. The breakfast program is increasing daily, and all of that is donated from Fish and is improving no cost to the borough. They're offering yoga, Zumba, Tai Chi, computers, billiards, art class, book club, healthy bones, low impact exercise, and crocheting, full programs. They've also added some new programs, an adult coloring class, a YES program, which gives the seniors a chance to sit around and speak and share their experiences in a very warm, nurturing environment. They're starting a walking group Friday, May 19th, and Kathy Scarpito will meet with the group and teach them proper stretching before beginning walking. And then the plan would be to continue this group 9 a.m. at the gazebo every Friday. So far, 10 people are already signed up. There is a senior golf league, which started on April 11th and has 14 members. They have a party coming up.
What's the age on that senior golf league?
I think 55. They think. Yeah, I'm sure they can make an exception. Then there's a party coming up they're having on May 5th, Kentucky Derby Party. Should be fun, first time they've ever done it. Their lunch program has increased 10%. They have lots of trips coming up to check out. They're expanding their garden. New partitions were installed in the ladies' room with new handicap bars, and we have art students involved in painting a mural on the walls. A new kitchen floor should be installed mid-May, and for any further news, they have a newsletter and also a calendar now. So anybody interested can stop by and grab it. And with that, progress.
Thank you. That's a great update, and I know there's been some issues over the years, and I guess a couple of years ago I started holding, I think like a quarterly, I don't know what we call it, breakfast with the mayor, meet the mayor thing down at the senior center. And the first one I think went about 2.5 hours. So they are not afraid to give their opinion. And some of these very things that you mentioned are things that have come up. So we'll continue to give them an opportunity. I know Tree does a good job, and you always have a lending ear, and you're down there as well. But a lot of good things have come out of just meeting them with them, listening to what they have to say, and acting on that. Now the golf league was news to me. They didn't mention that, so, but that's a great idea. And I know that part of the facilities in there, and I know Glenn was with me when we talked about that. I think you were as well. We toured some of the items that they were unhappy with. So it was a great job, Lauren. Councilman Benjamin.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank Council President White and Councilman Wallach. This year, we had a whole change when it came to administration and finance committee. I was the only one left from previous years, and there was a lot of continuity and a lot of stuff and knowledge that we had acquired over the years to develop budgets and whatnot. You guys did an excellent job in contacting Glenn and meeting with us and really learned quickly of how the borough's budget operates. And I want to thank you for your cooperation with this budget. I know Glenn The other thing is, tonight, we did pass that bond ordinance and councilwoman for recreation, and all the years I've been on council, it's one of the largest appropriations we've done for the recreation in the POW. So many different projects that are going on at one time. It seems like things can fall through the cracks before we get them done. And it seems like every time I talk to Kevin down there, or Glenn, and especially Christine, she's down there a lot, making sure that these projects come to fruition and get done in an appropriate time frame, and they get done right. So I want to thank her for spending the time. She's only been on council 6 months, and she's done more than I did my first entire year. So.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. No, it's a tough thing to just come on and take a new task of all these things going on. So I just want to thank her for that, especially Glenn for dealing with me for 12 years on the budget.
It's been a pleasure.
So, but thank you.
Glenn's favorite time of year. And Councilman, you tried to get a lot of things done in your first year, because I was with you. So
Yeah.
it wasn't for lack of trying.
I couldn't get it done.
You certainly tried as many things, but you didn't have as much luck. But that's for a different day. Councilman Wool.
I just want to mention, Glenn was very helpful in the budget process. Without Glenn there, it would be very difficult to learn. So it was definitely an interesting experience this year to be part of the process. I want to read a little blurb from the South Plainfield EMS page. Last week, Ambulance 466 took part in a large-scale FEMA training event called Gotham Shield, which took place at MetLife Stadium. This event was a training which included EMS agencies from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, the FDNY, and Long Island. And it says, we strive to always be our best and the most prepared so that we can provide services to not only South Plainfield, but also the neighboring towns, the county, the state, and our neighboring states if needed. So I want to thank EMS for being involved with that. That's great. I even heard that on TV last week. Also, I understand that they were involved. They're the only EMS that was at Rutgers Day last week, so just wanted to toot their horn a little bit. They do a great job in our town. And with that,
Thank you. Council President White.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. One quick item, I wanted to just update everyone on the MVC relocation or closure at this point. We have expressed to the Deputy Chief of the MVC that we'd like to continue to see a location here in South Plainfield. During our conversation, that is their goal as well. So they're looking currently for sites in South Plainfield and working through that process in conjunction with the Treasury Department. As we get further information, I'll update you, but at this point, the goal is to have a location open here in South Plainfield once again.
And I think the only other, I guess, confusion going around is the work that was being done at Edison.
That's what I was going to get to. So in Edison, you'll see that they're doing an expansion. That was slated and the money was put aside before this incident occurred with the landlord over here in South Plainfield. So that has nothing to do, two separate issues. They're expanding the location in Edison because it was just simply too small. The goal again is to make sure that at some point they'll try to have a place here in South Plainfield. They're doing their diligence to make sure that happens. So don't be confused and conflate the two locations because one has nothing to do with the other. With that, progress now.
Excellent. At this point, I'll open up for public comments. Anything on your mind?
Romeo, we're calling now, Romeo.
Wrong play.
Good try.
Now, Suzanne Leekworm, Bullard Place. I'm here on behalf of the Cultural Arts Commission, just to remind you that this Saturday at 7 p.m. at the high school, the Shakespeare Theater of New Jersey will be here performing Julius Caesar. And so we're hoping for a big turnout, and please pass the word along to everyone that you know. It is a free event for anyone that wants to come and see them. And they have done a fantastic job the last 2 years, so I'm expecting this to be great as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Boyle.
I'm just going to coach you. Okay.
Debbie Boyle, Van Fleet. Some upcoming events. May 10th, Wednesday, is the Junior Journalist Dinner at the American Legion. Everybody here is invited to join in. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. and we honor all the students that have been honored each month for their journalism, their poetry, their stories.
And just on that, you're going to get us a copy of the winners?
Yeah, I have a copy,
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, and that's sponsored by the South Plainfield Business Association, and it's hosted by Hometown Heroes, Charlie and Debbie Curley. May 17th is the Mayor's Wellness Fair. It's a Wednesday, time change. I just sent out an email to everybody who's been posting. Time is now 9 to 1, Wednesday morning. It's to accommodate the JFK Health staff. So it'll begin at 9 o'clock. May 19th is the Women's Leadership Speaking Engagement. We have 4 speakers who will speak to the 249 middle school females about being a leader and mapping out a career. May 23rd is the middle school blood drive at the high school, along with the help of the high school student council. That begins at 8 o'clock in the morning and usually ends at 2:30 if anybody is available to donate. June 3rd is the Holy Savior 5K race, and then same day in the afternoon is the Boyle Memorial Foundation golf outing. The flagpole that's over behind the senior center, that with the South Plainfield Business Association rock and plaque, is there any progress on that flagpole? Does anybody know?
Yeah, we're going to install it. We need to get some parts to install it, and then it's on the list to get it up before Memorial Day.
Okay, I was going to say before
Yep.
Memorial Day, hopefully, because make all our stops along the way.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'll ask a question. You said we were sponsored by the Junior Journalists Observer, not the Business Association.
I'm sorry, the South Plainfield Observer. Well, a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that was at the flagpole? That was the only thing?
Yeah, I need to ask a question though. Where do the 4 towns exactly meet? What corner, what
It's on-
street?
It's on Woodland Avenue.
It's on Woodland Avenue.
Yeah.
It's
Why is it
near
gray?
Sprague.
Yeah.
It's very close to Sprague. It's right in that area.
But not on Park Avenue, it's up further?
No, it's on.
No, it's on Woodland. It's on
Woodland?
Woodland. I actually think it's past Sprague.
Yeah, it's just past.
I'm sorry?
Just past.
Yeah,
It's just
little
past
past.
Sprague.
Okay,
Correct.
all right, okay. Well, you'll let us know more.
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll get an invite.
Yeah, we're trying to get an official marking of that.
Correct.
But that's-
Actually, the administrator of Plainfield was in South Plainfield today.
Okay.
And we gave him an invite list, and you're on.
That would be a good plaque to have. You know that where I live on Durham Avenue, that's where 3 towns meet, Piscataway, Edison, and South Plainfield. So you might want to do a triangle someday there.
Yeah.
I need to ask a question about the downtown sidewalks. They're painted red now, and how did that come about? Was there like, you just wake up one day and say, let's paint? I mean, does it go to any of the committees that are in town? It was a surprise. I only say that because people have contacted the Business Association thinking we did it.
Yeah.
We didn't even know it was happening.
No, go ahead, Ron.
Well, years ago, when the road was redone, they lowered the elevation of the road, and the
Right.
sidewalks are much steeper
Mhm.
than they were originally.
Right.
And back years ago, they were painted, but they were painted in gray, so you didn't notice it as
Oh,
much.
okay.
And there was an adhesive in, that we have like sand in the paint, some
Mhm.
grit, so you have some friction there to make it, a little safer during the winter months. So what we did was we used red paint this time, and we extended the length that was
And it's
paid
going to help
previously.
with the slippery sidewalks?
Yeah,
Yes, we did it on both sides to make it uniform.
And as you know, it's most dramatic, I guess, where Uncle Luigi's relocated, that's the most dramatic
Well,
slope.
right in that is.
Exactly,
Yeah.
so it's a, I don't want to say terrible design, but essentially a terrible design. That, if you look at that sidewalk, it is clearly tilted down towards the street level. I think it just makes it more sense to have it uniform on both sides, and it can't be a bad thing.
No, I'm just that the business
Yeah, but
association
that's-
got contacted.
yeah, exactly.
They didn't- Like they thought we had done it as a gift to the town or something like that. We didn't even know what involved. Do you go to any of the committees or anything, or just is just some traffic safety? Or?
According to the borough code, it's for the director of parks.
Okay, they can just decree that?
It's at, yeah, it's at his discretion.
Okay, all right, that's all. And you are the junior journalist, don't, and Mr. Mike from Mr. Bertram will be there doing his normal act.
Very talented, yes.
And we have many gifts, so please come and, Hometown Heroes makes a good dinner, so you can't go wrong, all right?
Always good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public portion. There are no executive session items for tonight. At this point, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So moved.
We are adjourned.